We were down to nothing, stripped away, the high was barely buzzing. Renegades, why were we running? Won't let it fall, we made a promise, we'll rise above it. We could get hooked on every kind of drug.
Hi guys, my name's Adam, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about this bike over my shoulder. It's the Polygon Cisco DSE or D7, but it's the special edition of the D7. The only difference being is this has a boost fork instead of a through axle fork. I've had this bike now for a year, so I think I'm pretty much qualified to give you a bit of a rundown on it and tell you how it's performed over that year, and basically that I think it is the best budget full suspension bike on the market. It's a cross-country like geometry, cross-country style bike with 120mm of travel front and back, so it's not a trail bike as such, but you can use it on the trails, no problem at all. The bike retailed, you can't actually get it now, it's out of stock. Whether it'll come back in stock I don't know, but last year when I bought the bike it was $999 with your go outdoors at Black's Go Outdoors, places like it was $999 with your go outdoors card. I think it costs you $5. I've done it a year to be a member, so it's $999. The Polygon D7 at the time, I'm sure it was about 1400 quid. Now with your card you can get the D7 at 1200, but still that's £200 cheaper, and you get a boost axle, so it's easier to upgrade, which is something that I'm going to be doing and showing you on this video, the upgrades I'm going to be doing to the bike. Right, so I've owned the bike for 12 months, never had a problem. The only thing now that I'm starting to pick up on is the bearing in the back wheel's a bit noisy, it's a bit rough, so that's going to have to get done. But other than that, the bike's been brilliant. I've had 2 rear punches, actually one I've just repaired this morning, but the different tyres anyway that I've put on the bike. So, but I'll run you through the bike, run you through the specs, and then I'll run you through some upgrades that I'm going to be doing to the bike in the next couple of days, and let you know how that all pans out, whether it's been worth the expense or not. Let's have a look at the bike. So it's a nice colour. I think it's a nice colour. Nice metallic gunmetal grey, white, a bit of orange on it, and it says Cisco on the top in orange. The Polygon logo, Polygon underneath in white. As you can see, I mean, I keep the bike clean, regularly clean it after each ride, but I've not spotted any rust yet. It's always protected as well with ECF 50 or some GT45 water dispenser, you know what I mean. I make sure it's cleaned. There's signs of wear, you know what I mean, on the pedals and a bit here where you expect it. This here is just a clear sticker, so that's not any damage to the frame, it's just a bit of dirt that's gone underneath it, probably needs peeling off, just to protect the boots catching the frame and stuff. But yeah, it's a belting bike. So we'll go through the spec. It's got Shimano Dio 1x11, sorry, it's the 5100 1x11 drivetrain on it. It's got the RockShox Deluxe Select Plus shock with 120mm of travel. It's 190 by 45, 190 eye to eye, 45mm of travel here, which equates to, supposedly, so they tell you, 120mm of travel at the rear end. The front fork is a Suntour Radian. It's a Suntour Radian 32 boost fork with, again, 120mm of travel, and that's the difference between the specs anyway, apart from colour, but that's the difference spec wise compared to the D7. So it's basically a D7 with a boost fork. The D7 standard bike, not the special edition like this, comes with a rock shot fork with a through axle. So upgrading, really, when you start getting up to higher spec forks, thicker forks, 34s, 36s, 38s, you're going to get a through axle with it. So you're going to have to replace the front wheel. If you replace the front wheel, you'll probably end up replacing the back wheel, and it's a lot of expense. So, you know, all in all, it's a cracking bike. Looks nice. It comes with dropper post. The brakes are the real weak point on the bike, what I found anyway. Yeah, the brakes are the Shimano MT201s. One pot caliper. No adjustable spanner, everything on the lever. Quite spongy as well, this back lever now, so that needs sorting out as well. But they're going to get replaced along with this front fork and this rear shock. So I'm going to upgrade this bike, but hopefully keep the geometry. I know it's going to slightly change because I'm going up 20mm at the front on travel, so give it a bit of a slacker headstock. May raise, or will raise, the bottom bracket a little bit, but nothing too much. Maybe, you know what I mean, I won't be directly over the bottom bracket, so I might have to slide the seat forward a little bit. If I need to, I can always come down a spacer as well to bring me back forward if I need to on climbs. Climbs really well, this bike with the geometry. Really does climb well. You get a bit of lift on the front wheel, but I'm hoping that if I'm, you know what I mean, if got that slacker head, I'm not going to get too much more lift on the front. If I do, like I say, you can slide your seat forward a little bit. You can drop a spacer and lean a bit further forward if I need to. I'm reckoning by the time I've put it on, I won't even notice a difference. So yeah, the bike, really, it's been brilliant. It's, like I say, never let me down. The real weak point are the brakes. You could get that bike and ride it, and if you ride like I do, I probably don't need all these upgrades, to be honest, but I am going to try and start going to a few mountain bike parks and doing some runs down some of the easier trails, like, and see if I can get into it, see if I can enjoy doing that. And if I do, then obviously a little bit more travel on the front, better suspension, better brakes definitely will help. But if you're just going to use this bike for all I've used it for the last 12 months, which is like cross-country riding, canals, bit of hill climbing, bit of downhill, you know, nothing too gnarly, muddy, but nothing too, you know, gnarly or anything. Brilliant bike. And if you really wanted to improve it, stick a better set of brakes on it, and it'd be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant bike for a full suspension bike. I know there's others on the market, isn't there? I think, is it Meridia do one similar spec, but that's 1600 quid. I know White do one for a bit more travel, but still very similar spec. That's about 1800 quid. And then when you start getting into like over 2 grand, you can get a Trek, what is it now? Trek /7, 170mm travel, more obviously like trail orientated bike. I think that's about 2200, something like that. That was out of my budget, I'll be honest with you. You know, that was in my budget at the time, and the upgrades I've got for it are in my budget now. So I'm building a bike that's probably got the spec of a £2,500 bike, but I've doing it in stages, obviously, to keep that budget and spend down. But yeah, obviously, if you can afford a better bike than that, go out and buy one. But if you can't, and you're on a budget like me, £1,000 for a mountain bike, you ain't gonna go better than that. Obviously, you probably can't get this one, so you might have to go up to like 1200 quid to get the D7. But I recommend it. I think it's a brilliant bike. It's been excellent. Change the tyres on it. Change the tyres on it to the Hans Dampf tyres. A little bit wider. I think these are 1.3, yeah, they are 135s these, so a little bit wider than what came on it. I think there were 120s that came on it. Pretty sure these are 135s. Let me make 100% sure what they are. I know they are, but I'm going to check anyway. The bloody size on them. There we go. What am I on about? Well, there we go, I am lying. 235s, not 135s, you probably knew what I meant. So they're 235s, 220s are what came on it. Sorry about that. Got interrupted. Nicola's building some wardrobe, so she won't let me help as usual, but keeps coming back in asking me, where does this go, where does that go? Anyway, I think we've talked enough about this bike. Let's have a look at some upgrades that I'm going to be doing on the bike. It's going to have a new fork, which is the Fox 2023 Fox Float 34 grip performance with 140mm of travel. I've looked at everything, read everything, this, that and the other. Actual Polygon their recommendations is you don't go up or down in travel, but I think that's just manufacturers covering their own ass. If you do go up and something happens, obviously warranty and all that will be gone anyway, but if something happens, you rip the headstock off or something and go careering into down a ravine or something like that, then Polygon are going to turn around and say, well, we recommended you didn't put any but most people that know a lot more than me, that have done it, that are, you know, get really good advice off on the online on some of these channels and stuff. So if you don't go more than like 20mm, you won't really have any problems. With most people go 10, 20, you are getting to the limits, but you won't have any problems. There won't be a massive change in geometry, but you will get the performance, especially by upgrading obviously a better fork with more adjustability and more travel. And the next thing I'm going to upgrade is the rear shock, and that's same again, it's a Fox Float, but this is a factory series boost valve shock, same 190 B45, so we won't gain any travel, but what we will gain is obviously more adjustability, a better shock and a bit of bling, because this is a factory, but this was second hand. I'll show you the factory first. So yeah, this was second hand, but it seriously is like new. Absolutely stunning, you can see that. The Kashima coating, genuine Kashima coating, that's to give us the gold bling. I'm just waiting now for the hardware to come to fit it. As soon as that comes, this is going on. But as you can see, the adjustability there. It's got obviously the rebound. It's also got can't do it with one finger, but you can adjust the trail on it. So when you have it in trail, so obviously up there for climb, which will lock out the fork completely, that's for trail riding, and then over here side is for descending, which will give you a bit more, obviously a bit softer suspension when you're descending. But when you have it in trail, you can have it in settings 1, 2 and 3 for, if you look here, soft, firm, medium. Most people recommend that 2 in medium. This operates by pushing you can't really do it with one handed, but you push this black bit here, push this black bit, and that turns that arrow onto 1, 2 or 3. And then obviously you've got your rebound there, and then locking it off for climbing, in the middle for trail riding, and then for descending. So yeah, that is a bit of bling. I'm going to look this up, because obviously it's custom tuned and that's the ID number, so I have to look that up. Hopefully it's not too far off my weight and everything, but you can have them custom tuned. Don't know how much that's going to cost, but yeah, it's a stunning bit of kit, that, isn't it? That's going to go on. And hopefully I'll feel the benefits of that straight away. The next thing, we'll have a look. This is, like I said, this is the Fox is a 29 inch, obviously, 2003 Fox 34 float grip performance. This isn't factory, so it hasn't got the same amount of adjustability. It's just got the grip. Anyone who's familiar with that, and obviously it's not got the gold bling, but this is a brand new fork. In fact, I'll get it out and you can have a proper look at it. There we go, got it out of the box. Fox, there you go, 34 performance with a boost axle. And this is the grip, so you can firm it right up, and then as it comes round you can hear it sort of like, I can feel it anyway, clicking in each, and then you'll hear it there. And then this is where you get the open, which is supposed to change and get your grip from, apparently. But you can hear that change there, and you firm it right up. You can sit it there in the middle, and then you can start to open it up to give you that more travel, the softer fork. So that's basically all the adjustability on this fork, but it's going to be more rigid with it going from a 32 to a 34, and like I say, we've got that extra 20mm of travel. Okay, so that's obviously going to be the upgrades to the suspension. The other thing which I mentioned on this bike is a massive weak point of the brakes, so I'm going to stick this shock and fork on eBay, and hopefully once they sell I'll have enough money then to upgrade the brakes. I'm going to buy some Shimano, the XT 4-pot calipers. I think it's the it's the M8120s. Obviously calipers and brake levers, adjustable span on them. You can adjust them for 1 finger, 2 finger braking, and then adjust the span in and out for the size of your hands. And it's just a miles better brake. 4-pot calipers instead of these 1-pot. I think these are 1-pot anyway, there might be 2, but I think they're pretty much 1-pot. So you've got 4-pot calipers, miles more stopping power, which I took this down our local trail at Phillips Park yesterday, and the brakes are shocking. Suspension was actually alright for what I was doing, but the brakes were shocking. But as I get a bit more confident and start to maybe get a little bit of that extra travel will help as well. Well, yeah, that sort of like concludes what we're doing, what upgrades we're doing on the mountain bike. Anyone who watches my channel knows that, you know, I'm into my motorbikes and my mountain bike. I'll know that I've sold my 2 motorbikes this year and bought this. Bought the WR 450, which has obviously freed up a bit of money, enabling me to buy these parts for the mountain bike. But the mountain bike, I just absolutely love it. I've been getting this bike out more than I've been getting the DR that I had and the Triumph out. Every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, this bike's been coming out for a good 2 hours. Getting muddy, absolutely loving it. So, you know what I mean, the decision to sell the bikes was a bit of a mad one at the time, but now I've got this WR, which I absolutely love. Spent a little bit of money on just doing a few things to upgrade this, and I thought, before I keep just pumping all the money into this, I'm going to spend it on my other love, which is the mountain bike, just to make sure that, you know, I got the spec I wanted in mountain bike before I spent it all on the WR, because the WR is fine now. I've got a Digi speedo to put on, which I've ended up going for a cheap low budget Chinese one, so I had the money to spend on, and if it don't work out, you know what I mean, I'll have to buy another one. But it actually cost me 16 quid for that, and the others are like 140, so for the trial tech. And I've actually had it on and working, just got to build a bracket and get it all on and set up right. So as long as it works, who needs to spend 120 quid? Alright, we'll see if it lasts. If it doesn't last, and I'm gonna if it don't last, I'm gonna upgrade to the more expensive one, but that'll be in the future. Anyway guys, I've also bought some body armour and knee protectors for this and the mountain bike. Maybe I'll buy a new helmet, but that Fox helmet I've got's not that old, so I probably won't do. Yeah, so well, that's about everything really. And so we've talked through the bike, we've talked through the upgrades. So all that's left really now is for me to get on with fitting the upgrades and then show you what it's like once it's all fitted. I'm not going to film fitting them, I'm just going to get on with it at some point later today, maybe tomorrow. Get them all fitted. What I am going to do is measure the height of the bottom bracket, measure the geometry and the rake of this front fork, and then the height as well, obviously the height of the handlebar height and everything. Then fit everything, then remeasure, and then when I do the video update after a couple of rides, obviously I'll tell you if I feel any difference geometry wise, if the suspension has made any sort of improvements, and compare what the height of the bottom bracket were and the rake of the front fork and everything compared to what it is after the upgrades. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. You all ride safe, stay safe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.
We were down to nothing, stripped away, the high was barely by.